A tall woman wearing pants and shirt is holding a phone while waiting for the elevator. When the elevator doors open, she sees a short guy in there. They greet each other and he asks her which floor she is going to, calling her big sister. She is also going to the first floor, same as the short guy. While they are standing in the elevator, the tall girl looks down at him, thinking to herself that he is the small guy living in the floor under him. This is their first time they have talked as well, and she calls him cute because he is so small. The small guy thinks to himself that the girl is the big sister living above him and she has just moved in recently. He notices the nice smell coming off of her. They just bumped into each other because of the summer break, as the small guy wonders if the girl is a university student. The girl, on the other hand, wonders if the small guy is a primary school student. In their heads, they want to make love to each other. The girl wants to make love with a small guy like him because his face and body fits her tastes perfectly. With the height difference, she would be able to do many things. On the other side, the small guy wants to be dominated by the taller woman and wants to smell her scent. Since they are summer break, they think that they will not be able to meet each other much after that, since their timetables will be different. When the elevator reaches the floor their rooms are on, they say goodbye to each other and hope that they can meet each other again. A few days later at a high school, their homeroom greets all of the students. He tells the whole class that they are going to be classmates from now on, so they should all treat each other well. In the front of the class, the small guy and the tall girl from the elevator are sitting next to each other. They are both the same age and are even going to the same high school as well. The teacher says to that class that he will be passing out some handouts for them all to fill. He wants the students in the front row to pass them back. As the teacher talks, the tall girl asks herself that if the small guy is the same one she met before in the elevator. She gets the paper from the front seat as she realizes that they are the same age, even though she taught he was a primary school kid. Their reunions are different than from what she taught, but since he is in high school, it might even be better since their age is similar to each other. As she sorts through the paper, she takes a peek at him as he is sitting beside her. As she does, the small guy also notices that the tall girl is the same as the one he met a few days before in the elevator. Even though she's wearing a school uniform, she still looks a lot more mature. He also takes a peek at her. The tall girl wonders how she should face him later after class ends. In their minds, they have dirty thoughts about each other and imagine a fake scenario. In this fake scenario, they are both alone in an empty corridor in the school. The tall girl pushes the small guy against the wall. She says that she thought he was a primary school student when they bumped into each other in the elevator. She asks him what his intentions are since he is pretending to be a kid in front of her. He starts to explain to her that he was not trying to hide anything from her, and even he thought that she is a university student. She pushes him back harder against the wall and holds him in place. She asks him that if he was not trying to hide anything, what is he hiding between his legs? The fake scenario ends as both of them try to hide their embarrassed faces and look away from each other. After class, the small guy worries that he did not really pay any attention in class because of the embarrassment. He wants to talk to the girl, but decides on maybe next time. While he's clearing his table, the tall girl comes up to him and asks him if he wants to go home together with her. The small guy is surprised but agrees to go home with her. While they are walking beside each other, the small guy wonders why she invited him. They both live in the same apartment building as well, so he wonders why. As they walk, the small guy notices that she is so tall and looks very mature as well. He likes her body and still cannot believe that she is a high school student like him. The tall girl has not said anything at all since they have been walking alongside each other, so the small guy wonders if he should speak up first. In the tall girl's mind, she gets a blank as she does not know what to talk about. She did not think it through and invited him to walk home together on a whim. She has not said anything to him, so she wonders if she is being rude. She picks a random topic and asks the small guy how old he is. She suddenly stops herself because they are both in the same high school and even in the same class. The small guy just smiles and says that he is a 15-year-old high school student and makes a cute face. The tall girl blushes upon seeing his cute smile and asks him if she asked him a rude question. The small guy tells her that he did not mind her question. At the bus stop, the tall girl starts to explain to the small guy that she moved here to attend this school. She moved here because of her parents' job and is not familiar with this area at all. The short guy tells her that this area is close to the city, so he will be her tour guide next time, which she is thankful for. The tall bro smiles as she notices that the small guy needs to look up to even talk to her, which she finds cute. As the bus comes to a stop, a guy bumps into the tall girl from the back, which makes her fall onto the small guy. Her melons land on her face, which makes him embarrassed as the tall girl apologizes. The small tries not to think about it and hope that she does not notice something as the bus comes to a stop. When the bus stops at their stop, the tall girl and the small guy gets off the bus. When they get off the bus, their clothes are all sweaty from the heat in the bus and outside. The tall girl just wanted to tease the small guy, but she wonders if she might have gone too far. On the bus, she pressed into him until they got off. If the small guy asks her about it, she will just use the excuse that the bus was very crowded. When they get to their apartment, they go to the elevator to go up. In the elevator, the small guy asks her if she's going to the 5th floor, and he presses the button. The tall girl notices that they have been quiet since they got off the bus and wonders if she really did go too far. She wanted to exchange phone numbers with him too, but with her current situation, it would be too hard. She is unable to even speak. The elevator arrives on the 5th floor, and the tall girl decides to ask for his phone number some other day. She wanted to talk to him more, but they will just walk to school tomorrow again, so she just decides to wait for tomorrow. When she gets off the elevator, the small guy tells her to wait and gets off with her. The tall girl looks back at him as the small guy says that both of them go to the same school and even live in the same building. He looks up and smiles, asking her if she wants to exchange numbers with him. She stops herself from overreacting and losing control from looking at his smile. Her room is right by the corner, and she wonders if she should just take him with her. The small guy asks again and apologizes that they only knew each other for a short time, so she can decline if she does not want to. The tall girl gives a thumbs up and says that she agrees, and they exchange contact information with each other. They both say goodbye to each other, and they go back to their respective buildings. In the morning, the tall girl and the small guy were not able to walk to school together. In the classroom, the tall girl wonders if she came too early. She should have waited for him too and bumped into him in the elevator, and they would have been able to walk to school together. The small guy greets the tall girl and also thought they would bump into each other as well. The small guy sits down at his desk beside the tall girl, and she thinks up of a plan to make the small guy fall in love with her. Since the first class is homeroom, the teacher decides to arrange the seats before they begin studying. The tall girl has forgot about the desk change and realizes that her plan would fall apart if they would not be able to sit beside each other. Her first plan was to accidentally forget her books, so they would have to join their desks together and be more closer to each other. The small guy is also sad that they would have to change desks so soon already, as the teacher announces that the changed seating arrangement would be based off of their heights. The taller students would sit in the back and the shorter ones would sit in the front of the class. The tall girl is sent all the way to the back of the class as the small guy keeps his desk at the front of the class. The tall girl gets annoyed at this because she is sitting in the last row in the corner near the window. The small guy is also sad that she is sitting so far away from him now and wants to sit together with her too. The small guy looks back at the tall girl and makes a pouting face, which makes the tall girl swoon. The tall girl raises her hand and tells the teacher that she is nearsighted, so she needs to sit in the front. The teacher changes her seating arrangement, and now she sits right beside the small guy again. They whisper to each other, saying that it is a coincidence that they are sitting next to each other again. The teacher starts explaining that they only have a few minutes before the class ends, so they should take out their blue and white textbook they have with them. As the tall girl starts to enact her plan, another student behind them says that she forgets her book. The teacher punishes her by making her stand in the front of the class with a pen and paper. That will remind the student not to forget their textbook next time. The tall girl smiles, decide to delay her plan so she does not get punished like the other student too. If you liked the video, please subscribe and give me a like to upload part 2.